Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hello there, friends. Welcome to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious, and today we are celebrating 500 episodes in Volume 2. We started almost 2 years ago, going back through the Psalm after having been studying it for 4 years. We completed the 4-year study, and then we started all over again 2 years ago. We'll be celebrating 2 years soon, but today is episode 500 of our second go-around. That is Volume 2. Here we find ourselves at Psalm 86. Today, Psalm 86, a prayer of David. This psalm is really beautifully made. We're going to do the whole psalm this week. I think it's 17 verses long. I don't know why I can't turn my page so I can see. Yep, 17 verses long. And we're going to do the entire psalm. We have everything that you'd ever want in a prayer of David. We have supplication, praise, thanksgiving, and then we end with more supplication. So it's a great psalm. I hope you'll stick around this week and listen in because there's a lot to learn here. And we'll begin by reading verses 1 through 3 today. Bow down thine ear, O Lord, hear me, for I am poor and needy. Preserve my soul, for I am holy. O thou my God, save thy servant that trusteth in thee. Be merciful unto me, O Lord, for I cry unto thee daily. Now that's verses 1, 2, and 3. And you'll notice this sounds like a great prayer, doesn't it? As a matter of fact, these are things that we can incorporate into our prayer life and probably should just incorporate them, whole stock, just the whole thing. Bow down thine ear, O Lord, hear me, for I am poor and needy. Now, this is not the first time, is it, that we have seen this idea of poor and needy. It's a favorite theme of David's. Go back to Psalm 34, and you'll find it there. You find it all through the Psalter. The idea, and I've mentioned it several times, this is not a financial estate. This is not down on his luck, that kind of poor. This is not, he doesn't have any financial means. This is poor of spirit. This is the kind of poor that Jesus is talking about in the Sermon on the Mount. I am poor and needy. Well, of course we are. So let's humble ourselves before the Lord when we find ourselves to be poor and needy, because that is the only place that we can find help. Bow down thine ear, O Lord, hear me. I have nobody else to hear me. See, I'm poor and needy. There's nobody else. There's no other God. Who else are you going to pray to? Where else are you going to find strength and hope? Nowhere else. So, poor and needy, that describes you and me, friend. It described David. He knew it. Do you know it yet? Because it describes you too. Preserve my soul, for I am holy. O thou my God, save thy servant that trusts in thee. Preserve my soul. There are a lot of people out there that are after your soul. As a matter of fact, he mentions them in verse 14. The proud have risen up against me. The assemblies of violent men have sought after my soul. So he's praying that God would preserve his soul. Why? Because there are proud men that are after his soul. And so it is with us. There are proud men that are after our soul. They want us to fall in love, that our affections might be in love with the things that they say and do and produce. Be merciful unto me, O Lord, for I cry unto thee daily. If we're going to ask God to preserve our soul, we need to ask him to be merciful to us as well, because we sin. Even though we're poor and needy, even though we find ourselves to be in Christ, that is holy, that's David's expression there in verse 2, we also still need mercy, don't we? So this is the human condition, especially the condition for the believer. So the believer finds him or herself poor and needy. They find themselves in Christ, so they don't have a holiness of their own, but they're sharing a holiness that's imputed to them by God. And they need mercy every single day. Well, I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at more of this supplication, beginning there in verse 4 on Daily Dose Radio. Hey there, friends. Just wanted to remind you to go out and get yourself a copy of my new book, Christianity to the Life, by Cotton Mather, edited by me, David Smith. You can find it at Amazon. It's a paperback. It's also in Kindle form, so you can get it for your Kindle or you can get it for your library at home, however you'd like to have it. If you do, I really would appreciate if you would write a review after reading it. Let me know what you think. And it's a really good book. It'll encourage your Christian walk with the Lord. So go out and get Christianity to the Life today on Amazon. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.